Hi, this is Emily Conway, and I will be discussing Melrose in Madison today, which is a local clothing boutique in Denver, which I shop at quite a lot. And I first will start off by saying I think for a local clothing boutique, they've done a decent job at just really leveraging not only their website but their social media, which I'll show you. But I do have some critiques. First, I'll start with just the basics of layout. One thing I noticed right away is I love these large photos. I think for a clothing boutique, it's really important to focus on aesthetics and really, um, what they have in their store. And so promoting that on the first page, I think is great. One thing I don't love is as soon as you press this, it just brings up the photo. Whereas if you were to say shop Insta, it's the same thing, the same photo layouts, but this time, as you press, you're then you're brought to their shopping website, and you can actually purchase the stuff. So I understand. I think for the homepage, some of it might not be in store, or this is just a group of sweaters. But I think some of the stuff could definitely um, be featured and actually redirect you to a shopping link. I noticed just within my time of research that these few of these photos have changed, so it's nice to know that they're updated pretty frequently. Another thing I noticed, regardless of the page, is this blue space. So I'm not even sure exactly how this happened, but there's just a lot of empty space. So let's say you do shop Insta. It's the same thing no matter what. And on mobile, this looks a lot prettier actually, most of it. But it's just, I think, too much. And so that is likely an easy fix. But this actually brings me to my next point. Just that they need to be a little more diligent about updating events. So, for example, these events, you see December 5th, these are all things that have already happened. So, these are all old events that I think just makes it look a little outdated. Their holiday party, etc. So I think that could just be another thing that they could continue to update or remove if they don't feel that events has enough really to talk about. Their contact us, I think, is pretty efficient. They're using Google Maps kind of to show both of their different stores and where they are. And then about us, I like that it's succinct. I think there's not too much on the page. Again, a focus on photos and layout, which I think, for shoppers and the young target audience, that's what they would rather see, and they don't really want to read hundreds of paragraphs about where these people came from, as sad as that is. And then their blog. I think their blog is very frequently updated. It hasn't been recently, but I thought before that they were posting at least twice a day. Um, and so I thought that was great, 3 times a day sometimes. So I thought that was a good way to show that, these people are not just running the store, they're also focusing on an online presence and keeping up with trends and stuff like that. So that will bring me to another part of which I think they could do a better job. So once you press shop, you're rerouted to this Melrose Madison myshopify.com, which is great. I think it's a really well formatted shopping page. It has the right headers, new arrivals. These are updated pretty frequently too because these weren't even there my last previous recording, which I did a while ago but didn't work. Anyways, I think I love this page, and I think it's formatted well. I even went through the purchasing process with them, and I think it makes total sense, and it's really well done. But I noticed that this doesn't show up in a search. So I'll show you Melrose and Madison. So okay, you see their their website, which is great. You see their Facebook, you see their Yelp, you see their Westward, a blog article, their Instagram, but they can't actually get you to this shopping page, which I just think doesn't make much sense because a lot of people actually have heard of Melrose and Madison from others, but they can't get to the store. So this is a good way to kind of skip that step of visiting the local store and actually still having people place orders. I think in terms of SEO, this really needs to be put right up there with the website and their Instagram and Facebook. Again, in terms of SEO, their Facebook, Yelp, and Instagram all are within the first few results, which I think is great. And you can see that their Google business is right here with reviews, ratings, info. Um, and I think that's just another great thing for people who might have heard of the store but need more information. So let's see. Let's go back to Melrose and Madison, the website. I'm trying to think of anything else. I think in general, they've done a pretty good job. This is just one last thing I noticed. So Follow Us takes you straight to this Melrose and Madison Instagram, which I agree is definitely their strongest point. They don't have a huge following and not a ton of engagement given their number of followers, 3,000. But I think it's definitely aesthetically pleasing. They've focused a lot on really highlighting their newest pieces and in a colorful way. So I think it's great that they're focusing on their Instagram, but I don't think it makes total sense to have a Follow Us page that's just directly linking you there. I think they could do a better job of, if they're going to use this Follow Us page, take me to a spot that is featuring my Facebook, which, by the way, I think is also edited frequently and has a large group of followers. So their Facebook, their Instagram, and maybe even include their blog there just so that you could see that. I think it's important to really have a page dedicated to all of their different social sites they're focusing on instead of just linking them to Instagram, especially given this Shop Insta. If I were to press this, these were all the photos that are featured on their Instagram. So this is basically another way of showcasing their Instagram. So it's kind of repetitive to have that in two different places. Their shop thing, as I showed you, I think is great, and it redirects you straight to the site. And then the last thing, I just think, I love the photos. I love the homepage. I think these larger photos really capture your attention, but I do think they could focus a little more on just color. I think I definitely can tell they're trying to focus on white swatches and gray and tan, but there's a lot of white and empty space in all these pages. So I think they could either at least bold these headers and make them a little more noticeable, especially on the web version. I think mobile it's a little easier, but that would just be a better way to kind of make sure that people are being directed to the right place, and it's pretty easy to navigate.